worlds that we have seen in beginning Let's Plays. Skins that look just like Steve. Oh yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Paulsoaresjr's old survival map and make a new survival out of it. This is kind of complicated to explain, but you remember back whenever he made episode 0, whenever he released the download maps, so that way you could follow along? I'm technically going to do the same thing with his seed because it looks so beautiful. Thank you for the download, by the way, Paulsoar. I'm going to make this tutorial for 1.11.2 users. So that way, people in the new Minecraft can see that old Minecraft converted to new Minecraft is just as beautiful. So, without further delay, let's get started. Stupid freaking cows in the background. Oh, they're so loud. Just to clarify, I wasn't calling you guys cows. So now we are on 1.11.2. I was on 1.0.0 so that way I can get the seed in the beginning. See, this must be converted to the newer update. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want to see my snapshot, then go ahead. I will have a link to that in the description as well, along with 2 links to my skindex, so that way you can download a skin for yourself, and so that way you can check out the other skins that I've made. And one other link that will lead you to the specific seed that Paulsoaresjr has, also to his downloads, so that way you can follow along with either mine or with his. We're going to do a 1.11 though, so I'm going to hit the play button on this. We're going to convert the world. I'm going to see if this still works. I've done this like 2 other times before, but I haven't specifically recorded it. But since I love his world so much, and the fact that like that was the first ever survival Let's Play I've ever followed, I thought that you know, might as well do it here. Oh geez, hang on, let the frames catch up. Let's turn that up. Oh gosh, turn you down. I don't need you all the way up there. I think I have everything prepared. If it wasn't for the fact that sensitivity is fine, but oh, I'm not sure what was going on there. The pigs aren't going to look at us like they used to, and the cows most specifically. Now that we're on 1.11, I don't know if that sun will rise or set at any faster level. It shouldn't, but I'm pretty sure it will. So, we're going to go with the first thing here. Mining this tree down. Getting as many as there are here. I'm going to turn off the auto jump because that's going to get annoying. Keep that on or turn it off however you want it, but I don't want that on. So, I'm going to get all of the wood that's here. They turned on the entity pushing, so the cows and chickens are going to be really, really pushy. A lot more pushy than what they were. Alrighty. So, here we go. I'm going to take all of this. I know he didn't take all of it for himself, but I'm going to. Crafting table. Sticks. He did 12, but I'm going to do 8. Since I have probably less. No, I have more planks, but I'm going to do less sticks because that's not necessary. I'm going to put those here, and then I'm going to make a pickaxe. You guys don't, if you're following along, then you already know the controls, you already know how to make certain items. I'm just going to do this quickly so that way I can catch up with the sun, because it probably is going to drop a lot faster than what it did in his videos. Either that, or that's because I'm talking so fast. So all of his builds and everything, you can take this 1.11.2 conversion survival let's play as a shout out to him. I would definitely do that because that's, a little bit better to think about this rather than being all, oh, you're copying him. No, I'm not. This is more or less just a survival thank you shout out to Paulsoaresjr for showing me the ways around Minecraft back whenever I didn't have it and I was bored and really, really wanted the game. I watched his survival let's plays and it got me through most of my wanting it so bad. Since we have way more animals and a lot more blocks to work with, this will be a whole lot more fun, I'm not saying that his survival let's play is any different, but since we've got new blocks and new entities to work with, this might be a little bit of a different experience for you, and especially considering I'll have different ideas for house design builds. Since we did a conversion, we might get some different trees spawn in different areas because we did a 1.11 conversion. But it looks like we got mostly the same area to work with here. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. We've definitely caught up with a time here, so I'm going to need to create the hidey hole that he's done as well. I'm going to follow along in mostly the same ways that he's done this, because it's only fair, doing mostly what he's done and just basically following in the same footsteps, but with a higher end, well, not higher end, with a higher release for Minecraft. He did in the early release of the Minecraft. Okay, that doesn't make sense. He did it in the early release of Minecraft and in one of the later releases as well. But since now the mobs have different ways of not communicating, what am I talking about? Since they have, hang on. They've they've definitely changed their behaviors, which could be a good or bad thing, depending on how you see it. But since the creepers and zombies can see from a certain mile away than they used to be able to, this is definitely going to be different. So, I'm going to mine out where he did his hidey hole. I'm going to see. This is definitely where he's done it. Let me get all of this. The coal from the vein. And then, yeah, he did 2 cobblestone here, as well as 2 cobblestone here. He also made a door here as well. Not an official door, but it was something to keep him safe. My hidey hole is going to be a little bit more different, but it will stay in the same idea of what he was going for. I'm gonna mine the ceiling a little bit, make sure it's higher, so that way we have some work room here. I wanted to do something a little bit different, but with a little bit of an old style flair. And so the seed that he released in episode 0, I'm going to guess is still up for grabs considering I did it myself. But in any case, I decided that I wanted to kind of do the same thing, a survival let's play, but in a place that I'm a little bit more familiar with, because the 1.11.2 maps and seeds that are generated, they're a little bit more intricate, and they have a little bit more to them than meets the eye. a lot more biomes, blocks, and just it's easier to get lost. And so I thought that I'd do something that wasn't going to get me as lost. So that's why I did this. Okay, we've got technically the same stuff going for us, just a little bit different, you know. Same stuff but with a different flair. This direction here. This Let's Play, if you're following along, is going to be quite a bit different in some cases, but similar enough that you'll be able to follow along with both. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too far off from what he did, so that way whenever it came time to follow him, or if you wanted to follow along with me, then that's where we were going. Like, it's going to be close enough that you can still hang on. Let's put it like this. It's going to be a close enough, similar Let's Play that you'll be able to follow along with both people if you're still watching his series. Or if you're just going back and following it again. Or if you're just doing survival Let's Play because you want to, then that's fine. So, I'm gonna stretch this a little bit farther back. I have no idea how many blocks he completely mined back until it got to iron, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. So, I'm gonna do that. I think the bigger amount of space I have, the less likely that a creeper will spawn, because there's hardly, I mean, yeah, there's not really a whole lot of light to work with, but they're not going to spawn too close to me, even if it is this dark. If they do, then we'll have a problem. I feel like this will be good. I have no idea where he went to mine all of this, but I'm getting a whole lot more resources. So far, a stack and almost a half of cobblestone, 23 coal. We got some raw pork chop. I mean, we can eat it, but I want to find some better food before we go any further. And I'm definitely a whole lot more hungry than he was whenever he finished off his last episode. He didn't skip a whole lot in his episodes either, and I don't want to skip anything myself. While we're in here, just to pass the time, so that way it becomes daytime a little bit more quickly, or that way I can end it about the same time he did, because I have no idea how far into this recording I am. I want to show you my skin customization. Right now I have all of this on, right? Let's turn off all of this. You can see I still have it on, so that way it follows the 1.7 users. That way you still have my jacket and everything to work with. If you wanted everything, keep the hat on, so that way it still looks, you know, it still looks like you have the jacket on completely. If you want to be in the 1.11, then just keep everything on, like this, so that way it gives it that 3D effect. And I also made a 1.11 just so that way you can see the shirt underneath. And I made 3 or 4 different versions of this skin, so that way there's some variety. So whenever you see me, I'll probably be wearing my flannel next. Anyways, just to keep the idea of the same Let's Play, I'm going to end this off here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe, but, you know, that's all up to you. And, yeah, so, I know this is something a little bit different than what most people do, and I'm not even sure if you guys are going to like it, but I'm going to do it and post it anyway, so that way I can see what you guys think. Anyways, apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.